Hello, Linda here from Barlates Body Blitz. Minnie decided to walk off out of the shot after having some snacks. Hopefully she'll be back soon. Today we're doing another train and talk. We're going to do a moderate intensity workout, mostly weights focused for the first half and then mostly lower body focused for the second half. So the weights I'm using are 3.5 kilos, which is around 8 pounds, and 1.5 kilos, which is around 3 pounds. So I am going slightly heavier because we're talking about bone density and strength training is a big component of that. We're also going to use a loop, if you have it, for the second part of the workout, and I'm going to use it in a figure 8. I'll show you now how to do that because we won't have much time to put it on later. You put one leg through, pull, twist the loop, and then put your other leg through the loop. So it's in a figure 8, crossed over above the knees. It is going to probably crunch up a little bit, but I have found this stays on a lot better than using it just as a loop. You can kick forward and back and sideways and do lunges and squats and all sorts of things without it moving too much. So this is my new favorite thing. So I thought I'd show and share it with you. Now, if you don't have a loop, do it without, or you could even use some light ankle weights for that segment. And we are going to get straight into the heavier weights. So if you're not warm, maybe go and do a quick cardio segment from the YouTube channel to warm up and then come back when you're ready. Minnie has decided to park herself in the middle of the space as per usual, so I'm going to have to work around her. So, are you ready? Get your stuff, and we're going to be doing 40-second intervals with 10 seconds of rest. I'll always show you the next exercise during those 10 seconds. Let's go. Okay, we're back. First exercise, grab your medium weights, come into a hinged position. We're going to come up, extend back, in and down. Make sure you stick your butt out. You've got a nice flat back. Row up, squeeze your shoulder blades together, extend for the triceps, and then come back down. Are you ready? Come with me now. Back, in and down. If this position bothers your back, you can come up in between and then come back down. Okay? So you find a way of doing this that is still challenging, but it does not have to look exactly like what I'm doing. Extend, in and down. So today, while we work out, I want to chat to you about bone density because it's been something that's been on my mind for a while, and I looked into it. And disclaimer, I am definitely not an expert. I'm just telling you what I've been learning from experts, and I want to summarize it for you because I found it very helpful. Come back into the same position, arms up, down and up, down and up. So we're changing, alternating our arms, starting at the top. In that already engaged position, you want to squeeze your shoulder blades together. So one of the reasons why I am doing slightly heavier weights with you guys today is because whenever you do heavier weights or something that puts strain on your joints, it signals to your bones that they need to up their game. They need to become denser in order to put up with that new workload. Okay, so doing things that have either extra weight or some sort of impact even is really helpful for signaling your bones to become denser. So come into a lunge position. We're going to do a bicep and then come back up into that same exercise. So bicep, row, kick back. Staying hinged, belly is pulled in. This lunge position is engaging the lower and the core to stabilize. So some people might think that impact, such as jumping a little bit, is bad for you if you have weak bones, but it's actually the contrary. Now, I'm not saying go berserk and start jumping off high walls, but if you do a little bit of impact, it's actually helping your body to get the message that it needs to get a bit better at creating denser bones. Because when you don't use it, you lose it, right? You know that saying? So if you don't do anything that is putting pressure or strain on your bones, then why would they need to keep becoming denser, right? So the same way as with your muscles, that your muscle will atrophy if you don't use it. And your bones, of course, they won't dwindle away to absolutely nothing, but they will become weaker and weaker as time goes on, and especially if you are also not looking after your nutrition, which is so important for bone density. Pick up your weights again. We're going to come into a wide turn-out position, weights together. It's a little swing up, bicep, overhead press. So it's down, swing up, bicep, overhead press. Make sure you keep your belly button pulled in and come down with a flat back. Use your hips to help propel that weight up. If this is too much for you, just use one weight and hold it on the ends. Down and up. So I was very surprised to hear one of the people I've been following, called the Bone Coach. He actually was diagnosed with osteoporosis when he was really young. I believe he was in his 30s. And the reason why he had it was because he had had really poor nutrition as a child, so his bones never kind of formed properly. We're going to come into a suitcase squat, a bicep, and then a calf raise. So it's down and up and up, down, up and up. So really narrow squat, bicep, and as you come down, you raise. Down, up with the arms, up with the heels. So because your bones are made up, 50% of your bones are made up of amino acids, which comes from protein, and also calcium is really important. It's a building block for your bone cells. Let's grab our slightly lighter weights. We're going to do 2 steps across. I'm going to try not to step on Minnie. 2 steps across chest press, and then rotate at waist height. So chest press and then bring it down. The lower you go with your legs, the more you're going to work them. And then he also had a problem with celiac disease or gluten intolerance or allergy, which meant that his stomach, he was having irritable bowel syndromes, and his gut wasn't able to absorb all the nutrients his body needed for healthy bones and healthy everything else for that matter. So when he went to see the specialist, we're going to come into a wide plie again, down and punch across, and then up, palms up. So palms down and down, palms up and up. So when he went to see the specialist and they told him what to do to help heal his gut, he was then able to absorb nutrients. And as he teamed that with other lifestyle changes, such as adding resistance training, impact training, and making sure he was getting enough sleep so his body could repair, making sure he looked at stress levels, because your body, when it is in a stressed, so your nervous system is stressed, it means that you can't actually heal because your body is in fight or flight. Okay, we're going to take our heavy weights again, do a bicep curl with a side leg lift. So basically over time, by making lifestyle changes, he was able to increase his bone density. So there's many factors to that. As I mentioned, nutrition is key, sleep is key, exercise to help eliminate toxins, even toxic load of your environment. You know, are you exposed to toxins all the time? I mean, all of us are, but maybe you are more so than you need to be. Maybe you work as a painter. Maybe you work in an industry where you're constantly surrounded by toxic fumes. Even what I thought was, when I was younger, I worked in the perfume industry, and I would be smelling perfume all day long. And a lot of those perfumes are made with synthetic fragrances, which are really bad for you. They actually disrupt your hormones. So There's so many things that we are surrounded with, some of which are within our control to change. Sleep, as I said, is super important because that's when your body detoxifies, eliminates those toxins, and then gives you the ability to kind of restore. Let's go light weights again. To restore and heal across, up and up. So a little bit of a cardio interval, up and up. So just pivot on your toe. And the other thing that was really interesting, which I want to mention before going further into things you can do, is people usually get a bone density scan and then they get told a number, and if it's below a certain amount or above a certain amount, I don't even know the specifics, you're diagnosed as having osteoporosis. And a lot of people will then be put on some sort of medication. So we're going to use our weights together, come out together, out together. Wide stance. Now if you want it, alternate bicep curls. This one's one for the heart rate. Bicep and bicep hammer curls. So a lot of people immediately will be put on medication, and I'm not anti-medication for some people, but because Western medicine generally only has that as an option, they might put people on it who really should rather take a year out or a couple of years out. Let's do deadlifts actually, and try and use some of those other options or other lifestyle changes. Let's just do deadlift, come up, front raise. So deadlift, come up, front raise. If it's too much to do both arms, do one arm and then the other arm. So I'm not, as I said, I'm not anti-medication because it can definitely be helpful and even life-saving if you are too far gone. But if you've just been diagnosed with osteoporosis, it shouldn't be your first port of call. You should definitely try to change some things in your lifestyle to increase your bone density first. And if that doesn't work for you, for whatever reason, then definitely, let's just go tap out, fast bicep curls. Lots of biceps today, by the way, and triceps. So if that doesn't work for you, then obviously you may still need to go on the medication, which is fine. But you want to try the natural means first. And nowadays there's many functional medicine doctors available who will help you to diagnose the issue. Maybe it is nutritional for you. Some people don't even realize that it's their gut health that's stopping them from absorbing nutrients. And that could be the simple fix. Maybe it simply is that you're not doing weight-bearing exercise that's challenging your body. And over the years, you've become more and more comfortable. So we're going to hinge forward. We're going to do the same thing with the foot, but tricep extensions to the back, okay? So this is your little cardio interval. If you want to go fast, deep breath here. Weight is in the heel of your supporting leg. It's easy to get comfortable as you get older, especially if you're retired and you don't have to go to work every day. You can become more and more sedentary, and that can definitely impact your bone health, along with maybe some bad habits nutritionally. So what I wanted to say, not only about when you get a scan and maybe you're diagnosed with osteo, number one is that let's put our loop on actually, is that you don't have to go on meds straight away. You can definitely get help from someone who is able to give you alternatives. Let's go in and then just stand. And if you can balance here and not put that foot down, try. So we're going to slow things down a little bit, put some balance challenge into it, and start activating core, as well as a lot of lower body. So yeah, don't just go on meds straight away. Maybe consult a functional medicine practitioner. And secondly, what I heard today was quite shocking, that it is really important that the person who does the scan actually knows what they're doing other side. You don't have to hover your leg. If you want to, you can put it down in between, and you could even hold on with one hand, okay? This is just the more advanced option for you. With the loop, it's not making it easy. This is my harder side to balance, so try. Yeah, so they need to be qualified in order not only to perform the scan, which apparently is actually quite tricky to line everything up perfectly, but also to be able to read the results for you. And this particular expert was saying that 50% of general practitioners don't even know how to read the results properly. So the diagnosis you got, unless you know 100% that it's from an expert, someone that's got qualifications in doing scans, I would not trust one person's opinion, okay? And secondly, either hands here or hands up, back and side, back and side. So lunge and hydrant, lunge and hydrant. See how good the loop is? It just stays in place so beautifully. So once again, balance challenge. If this is not working, go lunge and tap. So yeah, you might need a second opinion. If you've been diagnosed with osteo and you really don't think it's a proper diagnosis, maybe you've been other side, maybe you've been really good with your strength training your whole life and you've looked after your nutrition and you're thinking, how can this possibly be? Then it could be a wrong scan, a wrong reading. So maybe you need a second opinion, or maybe you just need to make sure you go to a certified practitioner who's really able to give you the results or read the results properly for you. And up. And up. And the other thing I wanted to say is if you have been diagnosed with osteoporosis, it's not necessarily a correct diagnosis. You can use your weights here. We're going to go squat and side leg raise, squat and side leg raise. Minnie is so in my way. It might not be a correct diagnosis because certain vitamins apparently deposit in the bones and they can give a false reading. And also, if you've had fractures in your spine, that can actually give a false reading as well. So the whole thing to me was like, left me thinking, well, how do you even know? So my answer to that was, it doesn't really matter, right? You know why? Because let's go into, I'm putting it under my knees. I'm going to go into wide plie, and I'm just going to come down and lift my heel, down and lift my heel. Because the thing is, if you are trying to optimize your health in general, you can drop your weights. I'm just using them for some extra challenge. If you're trying to optimize your health, you're going to be looking after all of the areas that also impact bone density, okay? So the interesting thing I found is you can pretty much look at any part of health, whether it be mental health, whether it be physical health, whether it be bone density, whether it be trying to heal from cancer, whether it be trying to get over an autoimmune disease. Lose your weights for this one. We're going to go into a curtsy to side lunge, curtsy to side lunge. All of them require a very similar protocol, and it's those key pillars of health that I talked about earlier: exercise, sleep, food or gut health, toxins in your environment. I think that's actually, and of course, stress relief or stress management. Okay, those are the 5 things that pretty much anyone who wants to get healthy in any way is going to focus on. So, same thing, side lunge to curtsy. So the great news is, you don't need to even get a diagnosis unless you have fractured something and you are at the point in your life where you actually need medication. If you're just trying to do something that's preventative because you don't want to ever get to that point where you easily fracture something, then just focus on optimizing your health in general, and you will naturally look after your bones as a result. Great, right? So let's do a knee lift and a back extension, knee lift and in front extension, knee lift, back, knee lift, front. If you need to hold on, I get it. Knee lift, I'm going to try not to. Back and front, knee, back. This is a tough one. I really need to focus here. Oh my goodness, so hard to balance. Back. This loop is not making life easier, is it, guys? Or people, I should stop saying guys. It's such an Aussie thing to say. Showing my true Aussie-ness here. Okay, other side. So, what are the things that I said? Do you remember? The things that will help you? Knee, back, knee, front. Toxic load, looking at where you can eliminate toxins in your everyday environment, whether it be, hello Minnie, whether it be eating out of plastic, microwaving plastic, whether it be putting toxic lotions on your skin, whether it be spraying yourself with synthetic perfumes that really are hormone disruptors, whether it be, what else is toxic? Just buying really cheap, nasty cleaning products that are full of chemicals. There are so many things. Let's use our weights. Let's go into a butt kick. Down and up. Hello, darling. There's so many things that add extra toxic load to our day-to-day life that we can start to reduce. You may not be able to eliminate it completely because you'd have to kind of leave this world if you did that, but you can definitely reduce it. And that's what we're aiming for. Down and up. Down and up. Then the food you eat. Not eating processed junk so much. I'm not talking about the occasional treat. I'm talking about what you do most of the time, right? What are you doing most of the time? Are you eating natural foods as close to their natural state as possible? Or are you eating a lot of packaged foods? Other side. It's down and up. I'm turning my leg out and bend pressing through my standing leg. If this is not working for you, by the way, hold on and just do it standing. Okay, that's your option. So, yeah, eating foods that are as unprocessed as possible, making sure that you're getting all your vitamins and minerals. Have a blood test done every now and then to see whether you're deficient in anything. Could be as simple as that. If you don't have enough vitamins and minerals to build your bones, you're not going to have dense bones, right? Making sure you get enough sleep because of the reasons that we've talked about many times, mini. Okay, we're going to do a little cardio burst. We're going to go across, 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 across. If you don't want that, stay low and do 2 steps across. But if you want to, you can go across, 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 across. Yeah, so sleep is when your body heals. Sleep is when your body detoxes. If you have had extra toxic load, So it's super, super important. Finding a way to manage stress, whether it be meditation, whether it be breathing exercises, whether it be getting out in nature and just sitting still. Find a way for you to de-stress, because we have so many stresses going on in our lives, and if you don't find a way to counteract that, then you're just going to keep building up. Let's go up and back. So it's a jump and then a leg raise. So it's similar to that knee and leg raise we did before, but we're jumping at this time. We're nearly done, people. So if your body is in a constant state of stress, it is not going to repair. It is constantly going to be in fight or flight and not in rest and repair. So you need to teach your body by doing all the things I've talked about in my past videos, by dealing with childhood trauma, by finding ways of being able to calm yourself, self-soothe. Is this the last round? By using things like meditation in order to help you have a calmer life. So you still might have a lot of stuff going on, but by using meditation, you're helping your nervous system to regulate itself, and you can start going from that crazy stress, kind of anxious feeling to a relaxed feeling much more quickly. There are tips and tricks that you can use, and it may seem like, why is that related to bone density? Because everything is related in the body. Okay, every system in your body, you're done. Well done, high five, high five. Every system in your body is related. Your bones can only be as healthy as the rest of your body. So seek optimal health, and every other part of your body is going to benefit from it. If you need extra help, seek someone that knows about it. I can send you links to podcasts I've been watching. Get some knowledge, and then slowly, little by little, start implementing it, because it can be very overwhelming to do everything at once. So just little by little, start making some tiny healthy changes, and then eventually over years, you will be becoming a better and better version of you. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it. See you again very soon. Bye for now.